Hello and welcome everyone again to another video, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the teasing about the new move update that we should know anytime soon. As we all know, the current season is about to end. We're talking about a week and a half or 2 weeks and a half, yeah, until the end of the month. But since there is Worlds this weekend, everyone is expecting that we will see the next move update, and it's going to be a massive one. So this video is going to be talking about the current season, the pros and cons, and what am I expecting based on my feedback on playing the game and the people around me who play the game. So it's not just going to be opinions, it's going to be like more of like what we actually liked, what we didn't like, what am I expecting. So let's talk about the pros and the cons of the current season. Okay, what's the pros? So in this season, probably one of the most stale seasons we've ever had. Why? That's the cons. Okay, yeah, so you're supposed to talk about the pros. Well, the pros in this season, there is literally like every cup has been Vigoroth Lantern. So I literally invested the least amount of dust in the current season. Less stuff to invest. Themed cups are similar to GBL. Like that's literally like, look at any cup. Fantasy cup, Fantasy cup, the cup before, the one before. Every cup has been like Gligar, Azu, Vigoroth, Lantern, Lickitung. Those things, you either play them in GBL or playing in themed cups, and we're no longer forced to play Catch Cup similar to the previous seasons. In this season we have Catch Cup, but it will be paired with Open Great League, Open Ultra League, and Open Master League. So it's not bad, it's something good toward like making GBL great again. Again, by the way, implies that it was good in the past, so the statement I just said is not technically correct. So the cons. Why this season? What was the bad thing about this season? Literally every themed cup was Vigoroth Lantern. I know I said it as a pros, like as something positive, that every cup was, we didn't need to invest. But themed cup didn't feel like themed cup. Literally every cup was Vigoroth Lantern, Azu, and the Gligar. No bans to the OP Pokemons and those themed cups, which made them just similar to Open Great League, and it didn't feel like we were like playing a different league. Usually, as an example, in Evolution Cup, it was Gligar, Chansey, Hakmo, Togetic. Like, it wasn't the stuff we hate, okay? Yes, there was Vigoroth, but it's tough to get Vigoroth out of the picture. Okay, it's not an OP Pokemon, but when you're not allowed, people don't use the OP Pokemons, Vigoroth will be insanely good. So I was hoping that whenever there is a themed cup, they just ban whatever is there from the Open Great League meta. As an example, let's imagine Fantasy Cup without Azu and the Skarmory, and without Azu, Skarmory. Then it will be like new stuff, like everyone will be forced to play Escav, Empoleon, and Flygon, which is new stuff to use. Like I was so happy like last time we had Fantasy Cup, not last week, the one time before, because my team was literally about Shadow Flygon, which is a Pokemon I've never used. This current time, like this time, it was literally Azu, Wiggly, Skarmory, which is Open Great League, and you could add Gudra to the team. Recycled bad cups and Fossil Cup. Fossil Cup is a horrible idea. Please don't do it again. So Niantic teased, they didn't technically tease us, but this is what we're expecting. Because if you watch Worlds in day one, we will have this research, which is basically Elite TMs, some dust, and Sableye, which could be a shiny. This is a cropped image from an infographic that was posted on Twitter by Galax, and you could find this information on the Pokemon Go news. Just Google Pokemon news, you go to the news in your game, you will find it. And in day two, it's like some weird Pokemons, which is everyone is expecting those Pokemons to get buffed. So we have Dusclops. Bro, did I just say Dusclops? Oh my. We have Mantine, Pangoro, Weezing, Galarian Weezing, and the Drapion, and Chestnut, and Wiggly, and Malamar, and Gastrodon, both forms. The evolution, okay, Gastrodon. So, what we're expecting, reward encounter include Pokemon that will make a worthy Great League team in the season after the World Championships. What does that mean? Niantic is literally hinting that those Pokemons are getting a buff. So, what do we... I keep saying dust clubs. It's literally... It's literally like dun spots. I don't know why I kept saying dust clubs. I even have a brain fix. I'm like, this is not dust club. This is this is dun spots. So the problem with dun spots, the good thing about dun spots is it has rock slide, drill run, which is two of the best charge moves in the game. The rock slide has been nerfed, but it's a usable coverage move. Drill run is an amazing charge move, but the problem with dun spots is that it doesn't have fast move pressure, period. So what it does need, I don't know, like they nerfed rollout for no reason. So rollout needs, I'm assuming, 2 more damage at least. 1 more damage won't do it because it's non-stab fast move. So you either give it a stab, good fast move. I don't know. I don't know if it learns quick attack or tackle, but technically, or you buff rollout. For Mantine, I've said in the past, the problem with Mantine that even in neutral Pokemon, the Pokemon suck. The Pokemon is just good because it destroys stuff like Feraligatr and the fighters such as Annihilate and Poliwrath, which is stuff you're supposed to destroy as a flying water Pokemon, okay? But it doesn't do any damage. Like, the problem with this Pokemon just does no damage. So we either need to get a Shadow Mantine or give Mantine better move, which we'll be talking about. Pangoro has literally Snarl everything in the game. I don't think it learns counter. It has Night Slash, Close Combat. It has lots of charge moves, so I don't know what they could do to make it good. Moving to Chestnut, I'm assuming Chestnut learns rollout, and it's going to be part of this. This thing is... So I'm assuming rollout will be buffed because those 2 Pokemons are supposed to learn rollout in the main series game. And again, 1 more damage won't do it. They have Drapion. I don't know what they could do Drapion. Drapion is already amazing, okay? It's not meta anymore, but it used to be so freaking good. Like, Drapion was one of the best safe swaps in the game. The problem with Drapion now is that in Ultra League, there is a Pokemon called Registeel, which is just completely wallet, okay? Now, we see Galarian Weezing. Galarian Weezing is already amazing. This Pokemon is just too good in Themed Cups and in Great League or Ultra League. Like, if you played Fantasy Cup, this was one of the best safe swaps. If you play Ultra League, it's still decent. The problem with it is that it doesn't have stats. The only charge move that it had, the only bad charge move that it has is a Sludge. I'm assuming Sludge can take a buff. It's just bad. I don't think they should be buffing Poison Sting because it's a Mudshot clone, so it's already like an OP fast move. Wigglytuff, please stop buffing this Pokemon. This Pokemon is just a monster, so stop buffing Wigglytuff, please. It's so good already. Malamar, I don't care. It's not going to be meta because the typing is just bad for Open Great League. So the buff, it could take a buff in a cup like Psychic Cup, so something like that wouldn't be bad. For the Gastrodon, I don't know what they could do, but I'm assuming it can, if it learns Mudshot, that would be good because it has Body Slam, Water Pulse, and Earth Power. So it could be like a Quagsire, a version of Quagsire that learns Body Slam and Earth Power. So that could be it. These are like the stuff that get teased, I would say, but potentially like what I want to see. Number 1, I want to see a nerf to counter. Why? Because Annihilate is just making the Open Great League meta like horrible. Like, Annihilate is just so freaking good that every team like either runs Annihilate or 3 counters to Annihilate. So the problem with that is that counter is just so freaking good of a fast move that you could run a horrible charge move like Night Slash and the Pokemon would still be great at would have still great position in the meta. So they could nerf the damage by 1, like make it Poison Jab or Steel Wing Clone, because those 2 fast move, Poison Jab and Steel Clone, already do lots of damage. They already do enough damage, okay? So the extra damage on counter aren't necessary if they are trying to nerf Annihilate. And Annihilate is not the problem. Vigoroth is the problem, okay? I didn't want to say Annihilate. I just want to see your reactions like, yeah, don't nerf Annihilate. Now, after I said Vigoroth, you probably was like, oh, yeah, Vigoroth is supposed to get nerfed. The Pokemon has been meta in every Themed Cup. The Pokemon is the reason why we can't play Themed Cups. Like in a matchup like a Gligar is supposed to destroy Vigoroth, but because counter is so busted with the combination with Body Slam, it just Vigoroth lose the 0. Sorry, the 0. I think the 0 and the 1 because you win CMP. They gave Lucario Fort Spam, so it makes sense now to nerf counter because Fort Spam now is not a better fast move. Yes, it does more damage, but it's more clunky because it's a 3-turn fast move. So if it makes sense to nerf counter to make Fort Spam look better, because when they added to the game, it wasn't exciting. It's like just a Dragon Tail that does 1 more damage. So it's not that big of an improvement. Slightly better, but it's more clunky. So you would still run counter. But if they nerf the counter by 1, then force spam would be the better option in this case, because it's just much better DPS and much better for energy per turn as well. And hopefully they give it to more Pokemons. Medicham learn force spam, and so Harima. Harima is... The problem with Harima is just a single typing Pokemon. If it has, it could benefit from a second typing. There is a Harima-looking Pokemon, which is, I think, Steel Fighter or something. Maybe in the future we will see it. So on that Pokemon as well. So this is fighting-wise, but there are a bunch of Pokemons I would love to get buffed, okay? I talked about Mantine, and I'm going to talk about Mantine again. I talked about it last season. I talked about it the season before. I'm still going to be talking about it because Mantine is supposed to be a meta Pokemon. It's so good when it comes to stat. It has decent coverage. The typing is good. It just needs a slight push to be meta, okay? Now, if it gets a buff, people will be like... complaining that I'm the reason behind it. No, Niantic doesn't watch my videos. You're the only one watching my videos, so please consider subscribing if you haven't liked the video, if you like the content so far. I know that Trevenant got a buff last season, and I kept pushing on buffing Trev, but what they did it is like that wasn't a good buff, okay? That was a buff that still won't do it. It's like asking your dad a car and then your dad buy you a car once you already have a full-time job and you've grown up enough to already buy a car. Like it wasn't good enough. They need to make it 35 energy, okay? It doesn't work at 40 energy. Trev is not bulky enough to throw 2 charge moves at 40 energy. It needs to be 35 energy move. Okay, Sableye Night Slash. I know this is too much to ask, but Sableye is a pure PvP Pokemon. It doesn't have any play outside PvP, so it makes sense to see a buff to Sableye, because the problem with Sableye now, it just got power crept by stuff like Feraligatr. Feraligatr does everything better than Sableye. Whatever you want Sableye to do, Feraligatr can do it better, like literally. And I hope to see Night Slash on Sableye just to have a baiting move. Like, it's just sad to see that Pokemon like Sableye with good stats, good coverage, not having a play, because every Pokemon in the current meta gets to a charge move in 4 seconds or 5 seconds. So we have a pacing issue because Sableye gets to a move in 7-6. Coverage move on Charjabug. I looked up what could Charjabug learn. I don't think it can learn anything extra. But I don't know how could they fix it. The problem with the Charjabug is that you always throw Discharge. Unless it's a water Pokemon, then you throw the electric move. And against the ground Pokemon, you just have no play. So it kind of need a grass move or something like that. So I don't know what they could give it. But all I know that Charjabug only rely on one charge move, which is Exeter. Goodra still need a buff, okay? Charge move. Goodra is a still needs a dragon move, okay? Give Goodra Breaking Swipe. I think it learns it. I'm sure it does. It learns another move. It's a normal type move. I can't get it on my head now. But give Goodra Dragon move. Like, that's not a Draco. Make Goodra able to beat Licky, because it's supposed to, okay? It's a cooler looking, better looking. And yeah, it's supposed to. So just give Goodra a dragon baiting move. Like, I don't think it learns Dragon Claw. I'm sure it learns Breaking Swipe though, because there was lots of people saying that it will get Breaking Swipe. Another thing, last but not least, I sure it last, buff Dragon Pulse and Water Pulse to be a Dig clone. So Dig right now is a Dark Pulse clone. It's 80 energy, 80 damage for 50 energy. But Water Pulse is 80 damage for 55 energy. Why it's more expensive? Those moves aren't OP. Those moves are just average. So please buff buff Water Pulse to be a Dig clone. Same goes for Dragon Pulse. Dragon Pulse is 90 for 60. Usually like if it's 90, it's supposed to be 55. Okay, but I would rather have it at 85 by 50 or 80-50. Like, just make it a Dig clone if you don't want to like be a nerd and try to make it good enough that Dragon Pulse plus the Shadow Claw will KO some meta Pokemons, which I can't get on top of my head. But Dragon Pulse is just so bad. Just please buff it, okay? So that will make Giratina more more than a one-dimensional Pokemon, because right now Giratina is like a Pokemon that just throws Shadow Balls or Ominous One, and both are just Ghost typing. It doesn't do anything as a Dragon. All of the work it does is just because it's a Ghost type Pokemon. So give it a Dragon move, and that should help Giratina to be meta again, because now it's kind of struggling. I know it's not supposed to always be meta, but there are lots of Pokemons that could benefit from a buff to Dragon Pulse or Water Pulse. And that's it for today. Thank you so much everyone for watching. Hopefully Niantic listen and I don't know, do something. Just copy some recommendation that we have and you'll be like, oh, we actually had lots of amazing recommendations. So let's just listen to that guy. And then I talk about fixing the game and just ignore me. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much everyone for watching. This is the end of the video. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and see you in the next video. Peace.